Hi, everybody. So, Brad and I are here together today, and we're going to talk about a lot of different things, mostly ascension and mastering your ascension, your power, and all of that stuff. I didn't get the recording the right way. So, um, that's why I was thrown off. But the ascension is like in full force right now, you guys. So, we're very excited to talk to you about what's happening because it's very big.
Yeah, it's huge. It's pretty awesome. And good to see you again, honey. And hello, everyone. And great to see all of you in the audience and feel all of you and the excitement that's bubbling up because, honey's going to show a picture later on here about the Schumann resonance, where we are and what it means for us in the union of fifth density, fifth dimension. Many of you might have noticed as well that maybe your telepathic abilities and your empathic abilities are very much tapped in, maybe especially over the last week since Easter Passover. And you're just noticing feelings and thoughts might be coming to you. You're like, is this mine or is this somebody else's? Pretty wild.
Yeah. Intense feelings coming across and crying, and you're like, why is this so big? Why does this feel so big in my body? And a lot of times it's because we don't have strong enough energetic boundaries that we've set up. And right now we are becoming more telepathic. So that is really important.
Yeah, most definitely. I think from a visual standpoint, the tapestry you showed me, that just kind of lays it out for everybody. You want to
Yeah,
discuss that
let's do it
from
now.
the solar flash? Yeah.
Yeah, so I am getting from my higher self that we are about done with the most intense points of the solar flash. And this tapestry came in 2023 in June. And that's when we basically moved into the new universe. So this is the resonance of the new universe that we are in, and we're in a multiverse. So remember that. But the universe has graduated. So we don't have 3D and 4D in the density anymore. We have the fifth density and above. And at this point, 3D and 4D still existed. But recently, probably within the last month and a half, that 3D and 4D split off and they've been dissolving. So now what we're doing is we're moving through a portal, and that portal is taking us into fifth density and fifth dimension joined. And what that's going to do is it's causing a lot of the bodies that are not willing to go into the fifth dimension to pass away. And for my father, it's like his soul and his inner child wanted to stay, but his body and his subconscious wanted to go. So there was all this back and forth, extreme, intense drama around whether he could stay or go. And eventually he decided to go because his body was not going to allow him to stay. And he is gloriously happy on the other side. So it's important that we remember that, and we are going to have more and more access to people that have passed because the veil isn't really going to be there. It's going to just kind of fade over time. And I actually saw him last night when I was in the middle of, sleeping. I watched his hand reach through the veils. And I've been there for his life review, which took 2 nights. And I was there to see him reabsorb, like his body consciousness went back into his soul. And also his inner child talking to his big oversoul. What next? What are we going to do next? So we have a lot of attachment and a lot of sorrow for not having them here in the physical. But remembering that they're eternal is really important right now. And if their body could not let go of some of the programs that would not let them be in the fifth dimension, that's important because it's a consciousness and it's a higher consciousness than most of us have lived in before.
No, that's pretty key as well, because we've had so many people we're aware of in our chats, Ascension
Mhm.
Mastery folks as well, who know people in their circles who have crossed as in the last month. And it seemed to have been more and more and more. So this really leads up to that separation and the shift too. So
Yeah.
and it includes the NPCs, right?
Yeah, I think the NPCs will start to fade. I don't think we'll get rid of them all at once. Like I don't think all the holograms that we anticipate to see at the grocery store or in traffic are going to instantly disappear because then our bodies would go into too much shock. But I think gradually over time, we're going to see less and less and less. And that's going to be really an amazing thing because we assume that they are carrying ambivalence about what we see as the truth and pushing back against us, but we're actually kind of creating them as a collective. So think about some of the crazy behavior that we've seen, maybe like during a protest, and there's nothing behind it. Like there's no actual reason that they have. They're just doing it to be out there and because they agree with the feeling that's being portrayed there, but they don't have any solid concrete evidence of why they're there. Because people will go in and interview and they're like, well, what are you here for? What do you believe this is for? And do you really believe that, Trump has done this or done that? And who did he do it with? And they're like, I don't know, but I'm angry and I'm going to just flip out.
Yeah.
So that is typical NPC behavior that we expect to see. And that's going to start to fade. So there will be a lot less resistance against progress and truth in the world.
Mhm.
So, yeah, we're in for a big change and it'll be softer as we go.
Well, much softer, right?
Mhm.
And and for the clips that people are focused on, millions of people focus on one clip.
Yeah.
Remember that, everybody. Did you see that one clip of this? And then all of a sudden, oh, that must represent everywhere around the world at this point in time, right? That one clip, millions and millions and millions, then they're talking about for 2 or 3 days, of somebody freaking out or somebody doing this or whatnot. Take a breath, pause, get into a meditative state. Being with yourself is always the most important.
Yeah. Go inside. That's
Mm-hmm.
massive. Um,
Mm-hmm.
and stepping into your own being, your own power, your own like I want to call it like your heart light, but it's really your God spark, your piece of source that you carry within you.
Mm-hmm.
Really stepping into that right now is massive. And that's something that we are facilitating in a new way, which we're going to probably share. But right now, we just want you guys to think about that. Like, why did I come here?
Mm-hmm.
What am I doing here? Who am I? And
Yeah,
what am I going to be doing in this new setup, like
right.
this new changed world?
Mm-hmm.
What do I want to see happen?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, the new Earth can leverage this as an idea of a total and a complete evolution
Mhm.
of everything, whether it's animal to human communication. You see the response and communication with your plants, and having a little talk with them, putting some nourishing water on them, right? And see within moments how they respond compared to previously, if anybody never did that. And that is magnetic effect that you have, your vibration going out, and also keying in, doing that vibrational harmonic handshake with other realms of consciousness in your sphere. And then when you're doing things like this and like a little practicing, right? Like you're building a muscle, so to speak, crawl, walk, run. And then, well, what can you do with people around the world? What can you do to create or co-create a humanitarian project you've always wanted to do, or the next evolution in life? You know, I was talking to somebody last night and she was saying, I just don't want to be doing this anymore. I just want to be in nature, right? But
Mm-hmm.
the want, the desire is one thing. You know what you want and you know what you don't want. Great. So from that, you can build a very quick plan in your head, use the magi within you, the I magi nation. Remember the breakdown of those words, the constructs of them. The I magi from the heart center nation of where you want to be. And, you know, Honey and I recorded some videos earlier this week. And one example is like you're putting in your order to the universe to a drive-through window, and it can take some time depending on the size of your order. But you know the order will come there as long as you remain in that lane to go up and do your spiritual handshake and checkout, and make sure there's the cause and effect, which also happens. So in stepping into your power within you, you know, that imagine if we have, you know, 100 million people or a billion souls on the planet doing that, you know, going, okay, instead of what's going on out there and participating in noise or distraction, what if each one of us goes within, don't want, desire, dreams, and then takes the very simple somatic harmonic steps towards manifesting that from a benevolent standpoint.
Mm-hmm.
We have these harmonic rings, like in Tartaria, the vibrations go out and pulse in the world. And I mean, I wish we had a great producer here with the visual effects going boom, 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 like gentle fireworks going off and beautiful crystals, and we hear the bowls. And all of a sudden, you're magnetizing with those aspects of yourself, which is out there to draw it within from a spiritual awareness into the physical of your realm, which all of
Mm-hmm.
you are walking in.
I love that. Yeah. And rest is so important. You know, rest in nature if you can. That's the most, you know, like that's the best place because the vibration is already higher. So if you can go out in nature and have your daydreams, dream your new world into existence.
Mm-hmm.
That's why they didn't want kids to daydream in the past
Yeah. Yeah.
because they were creating.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah.
So it's just, there's so much goodness that's coming and that we're stepping into and we're beginning to see. But there's a lot of falling away that's happening that we're in a lot like a painful period right now where the separation is probably the biggest separation that we've seen.
Yeah.
And we've been through betrayal where maybe a lot of our friends betrayed us. We've been through traumas, and it's just amazing how many things that have happened. So, yeah.
Yeah.
So we want to support everybody's spiritual and emotional growth at every stage. And we're at a point now where we're going to start supporting each other in a lot of ways
Yeah.
as well. And regulating our nervous systems. That's another massive thing that we need to be doing. Which groundedness, getting grounded is so important, and that can be done in nature.
Mm-hmm.
And having constant change be okay. being okay to live in an energetic space and change and things, knowing that things can be different, but they could actually be better versus being worse. And I think that program needs to be disintegrated,
Yeah.
that change is bad. And that was a program from the old world that we're letting go of. And we're going to be offering a lot of structure for basically just a calm space to come into and a structure that is multifaceted and like a hub for people to come in and see spirituality. And this works for me. I love this. I'm going to pluck this piece of fruit and this piece of fruit. And I'm going to use the free things that are available here and just enjoy myself and enjoy the other people that are in this container, you know, because we're walking through this together and to have a place to connect is really massive. So, yeah, we're involved in something really cool right now, and we're really excited to share it with you guys. So, that's going to continue over the next week or so.
And most definitely. And I kind of look at this as, the clarion call, but also a chorus. And I've never been one for being in concerts with a lot of people, yet I enjoy the music and I enjoy being in an atmosphere where the vibration of enjoyment in a concert environment is there. So I guess you could basically say I like the box, the private box seats, while the concert's going on, but not rubbing up against everybody. And from a spiritual sense, this is the community that we've co-created and architected with another individual, Honey and I, to allow that to happen completely for free around the world for people. We've already had several hundred people testing it out, and the word's coming out that this is the world's #1 spiritual community for discovering of spiritually awake, star seeds, discovering who they are and what they're meant to do and become in the gifts for this world. Step into your power.
And peeling away the layers of the things that you don't want anymore. Like, you don't want to eat the banana peel. You want to eat the banana, right? So at least I don't know anybody who eats the banana peel. It doesn't look like it tastes good and I don't want to try it, right? So that is the programming that is the overlay of the old world that we're letting go of. Like, community is the future, and small communities and larger collectives where you come together, but there's no drama and there's no discord. So that's what we're working through and letting go of, is all the distortion that has been imparted on us from the past.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, you just look at what the Canadian Freedom Convoy did and the Australian Freedom Convoy, and then the farmers in Europe did to ignite the world under all of these commonalities and these ideals, right? And you had people singing, celebrating complete strangers in Ottawa at minus 28 degrees below zero, even when the sun was out during the day, and the same thing in Australia. So imagine tapping into that and experiencing this, and then also, learning it for people who don't know how to meditate or want to experience activations. We have provided all of those for free for the world. We have a place where, we've heard about the power of prayer, right? And, being raised Roman Catholic originally, and then checking out of the doctrine and going, I like freedom here and this, and there's stuff that doesn't align with me. And then all of a sudden being awakened to other aspects and gifts, Reiki and spirituality and whatnot, and then evolving and going, okay, something, well, what I thought was meditation, the way I was told it is completely different. Or what I was taught was prayer, the way that I came up, is completely different. And it's all great. it's energy and benevolence is what it really comes down to. And
Mhm.
going within and tapping into your heart space and then stepping into your power chakra as well and feeling grounded to express your best benevolence out. And we have a couple of things there where we hope, we'll do that for people. We're hearing it is, and we just want to do this for the world, literally,
Yeah.
and then allow everybody to go and evolve for themselves. Because what's coming is amazing. It's there. The energies are supporting us. And all we have to do is walk through the door and start going up those steps, literally,
Mhm.
literally.
Yeah. And it's going to be a huge hub. Like when I tuned into this, it was like a circle with all these little circles all around it and all of these people involved so that they could be stepping into who they were in the project that they're going to help the world with.
Mm-hmm.
So it's just feels really good. And the intention behind it is a fifth density intention.
Yeah.
And that's really important. Like when you go into any kind of thing that you're getting ready to do, a new project, you want your intention to be really pure about it and to be conscious. So that's kind of how we hit this running. And
Mm-hmm.
it came at a time where I was in a massive upheaval, you know, but I knew how important it was. So I was still participating. And I
Yeah.
think, that goes to how important it really is for the world. And we need to be known now.
Yeah.
That's another thing. Like you guys are stepping into who you are and to
Mm-hmm.
become more and more comfortable with being seen
Yep.
and contributing versus just absorbing information. It's
Mm-hmm.
time for you to go be who you really are.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what this platform is for.
Yeah, definitely. Yep. The light workers of the world, the star seeds, the ones who are activating ley lines, the ones who have been, I don't want to tell them that I do this or the world because people or friends or family look at me differently and they just don't attune me. Done. And we had a wonderful practice over 2 years, and so to speak, to be at this point with our Ascension Mastery group of
Mhm.
incredible master seekers around the world who are literally guardians and guides in their own right across every continent and over 8 countries and doing this in this community together. So there's three things what we've set up as well for everybody. There's a power portal and a prayer circle and a 7-day free guided meditation, activation, and affirmation series for your manifestation, which Honey and I have put out there. And again,
Mhm.
all this is free. So, let's talk about the prayer portal for a moment, Honey. Because again, this isn't on a religious aspect.
Mm-mm.
This is on sending benevolent energy to a people, a place, thing, or a group for the highest and greatest outcome for the good of the world. You want
Mhm.
to discuss the power in this of a prayer circle?
Yeah. So they've done this in different ways, like in meditation. And they've meditated on peace, and crime rates have dropped.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And there's a certain amount of people that was needed in the past. That amount has really shrunk because we have already become more and more powerful because more and more of our soul is within the body. And we're more in touch with our own soul than we ever have been before.
Mm-hmm.
So if you just get 2 or 3 people together and they're focused on one thing, it's going to happen at an exponential rate.
Yep.
And that one thing might be we want to heal your ankle.
Mm-hmm.
It might be we want to see you have a new home. But you're manifesting together as a group, and that's creating a bigger push, so much more light. And when you're doing it together, you're releasing it easier too, because you're not invested in that's for me and do I deserve it and all that kind of stuff. Because if you haven't gone into total self-love at this point, then having a prayer circle is going to help you achieve more. And you're actually going to love yourself more as you go through that process. So
Yeah.
I think it's amazing. Yeah.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, just on that, when you look at it from energetic safety, you've
Mhm.
got a sacred space where, you're held in a way in that virtual sense without needing to explain or perform for people or be perfect in what you think perfection might be.
Mhm.
It's frequency-based healing, which is a massive aspect of what Honey and I are about in our lives. So, each space there is attuned to a specific vibrational need, guiding you through support, release, healing, unity, and or expansion, all at the same point in time, right? And in a prayer circle, it's about the presence, over performance, So whether you
Mhm.
are posting, reading, or you simply breathe and you're there, your presence and you don't have to put your name or your picture up, right? It can just be, light worker 111, for example. But your presence adds to the field because that's the intentionality behind it. And you're bringing this as a contribution, which then actually goes to the collective coherence, right?
Yep.
You are living resonance and you're contributing to the resonance of that space for the individual, place, people, thing, so to speak, amplifying that intention and the love and the miracles across time and space. And again, that's part of the universal law of cause and effect, right? And in the law of one, when you look at it in the children of the law of one, it is about being in service to others. And we see that throughout history, throughout different grandmasters who came in, right? Like Jesus. And you see other ascended masters, even the Bruce Lee, for example, being in service to others, right? And the divine, incredible guidance and wisdom he imparted in others too. And then ultimately in the prayer circle, you end up, it's like a soul-centered belonging. It it's that cosmic reminder you're not alone and you are part of something sacred. You are sacred, and now you're seeing us here. And
Mhm.
to us, that would be like five benefits right there, which is online for anybody. Um,
Yeah.
and that's just one aspect of this platform
Mhm.
and stepping into your power.
Yeah, it's a beautiful aspect. And I think one thing I want to bring up because I just heard the bird singing out there is think about the bird. What does the bird do? It's going to sing its song in the morning. And what is that also doing? The bird is helping itself, it's communicating with its, family, right? Its bird family. But it's also waking up the plants. It is telling humans that it's safe to awaken and it helps bring the soul back into the body. Like there's a whole lot of stuff that birdsong does. It's great for the nervous system. They are in service to others, but they are taking care of themselves first.
Yeah, nice.
And that's important. And The Law of One is a magnificent book.
Yeah.
And I've only read the first one, but The Law of One is fabulous. And it really gives us a lot of clues about our history. And there's other books. There'll be a lot of recommendations in there too for
Mhm.
how you can expand your own consciousness with written words or with movies.
Yeah.
All of that will go into that platform as well eventually. And I'm excited for that too.
Well, and that's a
Yeah.
great segue as a reason to why there's the power portal. And that's the
Mhm.
second aspect. So think of legs on a stool, right? So you have a three legs to support this stool, this global platform of uplifting the consciousness of mankind, right? Through that clarion song and story. And it begins with each individual, each one of us. So you've got with the power portal, and you go there, you see it at Step Into Your Power. It supports your spiritual, emotional growth at every stage of your journey. It helps regulate your nervous system, help you reconnect to your inner truth by providing literally a living energetic space, not static, that you can tap into at any time, know it's there. And also from that standpoint, life is organic, right? So you've got a flexible structure to move not only at your pace, but your soul's pace, feeling in. That's where we need to go, into the resonance and tapping into our intuition. And you're in that conscious minded community, right? So you're not rising alone. You're actually there with a whole group of people. And there's powerful studies as well, to how if one individual is attempting to do something, but then a group comes into that as a collective, it allows those individuals to go forward even further. Whether it's, for example, it's an Ironman triathlete, right? That's why they train with others, because then it also accelerates. Plus, you have a co-collective cohesive of the energy of the group, which magnifies their performance going forward. The same thing with those who are practicing instruments. And so you are the instrument, you are that cosmic creator, and your quantum reactor engine really is your entire body, soul, being, and mind, all together operating as one divine unit. And then that leads us to the third leg of the stool. Honey and I just recorded this week and published 7 guided meditations, activations, and an affirmation series for everybody to follow, over 7 days, for manifesting yourself. Yeah.
Yeah.
Talk about that, honey.
Yeah. And I'd like to acknowledge the third person that is involved with this, because it was their idea to do this. And it was a download, a divine download.
Yeah.
And we are 3 people that have come together to create something really amazing. And you will hear his voice quite a bit as we go forward. And I'm really excited for the people that he has in his audience to also come in and see this work that's happening. So ask me the question again.
Well, yeah, no worries. Absolutely. Yeah. And when you go there, everybody talk about, teasing the curiosity on who is this other third person who is one of the top in the world, in our minds, for pulling this together. And again, divine download is where it started, right? And then having that conversation and matched up, and here we are. What's so good about the 7-day, the free guided meditation, the affirmations, for people?
So 7 is the God number. So that's a creation number. So keep that in mind. And also, it's going to be a whole week. So one thing that a lot of us lack right now, especially because everything is all over the place, is consistency. And consistency will create things in your life.
Right.
And doing that 7-day meditation activation is really going to help your life.
Yeah.
And you may want to do it over and over again. You may want to do the 40 days, or you may want to do 30 days of it, because you're going to be like, wow, I'm a different person. Yeah. And every day we're slightly different because of Ascension. We're learning more, we're absorbing more of our soul is coming into our body. But to be intentional with something, just like an exercise program or whatever it is, it really helps you move forward, because you're saying to the universe, I want to expand. I want to become more of myself.
Yeah. And, it came to us just earlier that, meditation, many people might be struggling with, I've got to be very quiet. I've got to do this. I've got to be very zen. It's about a recalibration, really. Yeah. I love that. And so we've got, and look at the numbers, the 3, right? Meditating, activating, and affirmation. So all these are embedded in roughly 10 minutes, for your day, sequenced from day 1 through 7, as it grows up that value ascension ladder, if you will, right? So if you're brand new, it introduces you to meditation, even if you've never practiced before. For those who are extremely advanced, going to work for you as well, right? We've pair spoken affirmations with the sound, the harmonics, the megahertz, and the energy to rewire your frequency and bringing it up in the fifth density and the fifth dimension. Each session, we've also infused it with Reiki healing energy. This is quantum healing and frequency-based music. So you have this daily space for roughly 10 minutes, to connect in and focus on calming the nervous system, calming your mind, creating clarity and a realignment which serves you, whether it's morning, afternoon, or the evening, which ultimately helps you reconnect to your truth, your body, your inner power. This is step into your power in just minutes a day. And we feel that this is literally, once again, three legs of a stool, three individual souls who have come together in our soul group, architect group,
Right.
and put this together. Amazing. And here it is for the world. Like, to us, this is our co-created humanitarian project in the world right now to help everybody step into your power.
Exactly. That's a perfect way to end, because that is exactly what it is. And it will help so many of those projects be seen and be known, so that so many people can participate in them.
Yeah, that's great. Yep. And the link is right below the description if you haven't seen it on the screen. Very simple. And thank you so much, everybody, for being here at this time in our Ascension period and series. We'll see you soon. Thanks, honey.
Love you guys.
Bye, guys.